Spider-Man 4 has been canceled, and with it comes the end of the Sam Raimi Spider-Man era.
Apparently, Sony finalized a new plot for the fourth installment, and it will follow a younger Spider-Man.
Like I've said, they're doing a reboot. Why?
We're cutting every corner on this new Spider-Man film. You're gonna see budget cuts for the special effects, the sets, and even the supervillains.
No more Spider-Man 4? Nope. No more Tobey Maguire? Nope. No more Sam Raimi? No. No!
Consider this, it's 2009, Spider-Man 4 was in development for a 2011 release, but production issues quickly became apparent. The film cycled through 4 screenwriters, and Sam Raimi reportedly disliked every script. Adding to the confusion, Sony hired James Vanderbilt to write Spider-Man 5 and 6, even though Spider-Man 4 was struggling. On January 11th, it was officially announced that Spider-Man 4 was cancelled, with both Raimi and Tobey Maguire exiting the franchise. Fan reactions were mixed. Many welcomed the news, hoping for a fresh, creative vision after Spider-Man 3's disappointment, while others felt the franchise could still be saved with the right direction.
I am excited for a reboot. I think a reboot is exactly what this franchise needs. It'll bring new life, it'll breathe new breath into Spider-Man.
Spider-Man, after Spider-Man 3, Sam Raimi and Tobey Maguire had to go. After Spider-Man 1, Kristen Dunst had to go. But yes.
Why the hell are you rebooting a franchise that is good enough already? Oh.
By January 12th, details about the reboot emerged. The film was described as a gritty and grounded take on Spider-Man, with 500 Days of Summer director Mark Webb approached to helm the project. Webb expressed admiration for the Ultimate Spider-Man comics, suggesting that it would influence the film. Fans had mixed feelings. Many thought Webb was a talented director, but doubted he'd have creative control when making the movie, especially since Sony had already clashed with Raimi. There was also the news of the movie being another origin story, returning Peter Parker back to his high school days. However, this time within the context of a dark and gritty reboot. It's safe to say that this creative choice was very upsetting for many people. They had already watched through the origin story in the Raimi films, and his origin in general was widely known. The idea of doing the origin story once again was redundant, and so was the idea of making it gritty, which came across as Sony's desperate attempt to capture the magic of the Christopher Nolan Batman movies. Sure, fans were curious about this new Spider-Man film, but clearly there were many elements that fans already heavily disliked.
David Fincher thought it'd be a better idea when he was pitched the film to have Spider-Man as Spider-Man already when the film starts, and I think that's probably the best way to do it.
Because they wanted complete control of the Spider-Man franchise and wanted nothing to do with Sam Raimi, they said, "Hasta la vista, Raimi."
It hasn't even been 3 years since the last Spider-Man came out, and you want to reboot the whole series. I don't understand your logic.
Casting announcements were a major part of the Spider-Man reboot's news cycle, with both real and fake rumors circulating. Some false reports included Philip Seymour Hoffman as Venom, John Slattery or Sam Elliott as J. Jonah Jameson, and Zooey Deschanel as Betty Brant. However, confirmed castings included Martin Sheen as Uncle Ben, Sally Fields as Aunt May, and Rhys Ifan as Kurt Connors, a choice that excited fans who had long wanted to see Lizard as a villain. The biggest speculation surrounded Peter Parker's love interest. Would it be Gwen Stacy or Mary Jane? Throughout 2010, various actresses were rumored, and in September, reports suggested that Emma Stone was in talks to play Mary Jane. Fans were divided, to say the least, with some arguing that she didn't fit the role as she wasn't attractive enough for the part. However, this news of her playing MJ turned out to be false, as Stone was actually cast as Gwen Stacy, a choice many felt was a better fit. Of course, the most anticipated casting was for Peter Parker himself.
Thanks.
Yeah, no problem. Hey, I'm sorry. Those guys, they're jerks.
Looks like your dream girl's sweet on Parker, bro.
In July 2010, a leaked audition video featuring Josh Hutcherson surfaced, showcasing his acting and stunt abilities, though it was unclear if this was an official Sony audition or something Hutcherson put together himself.
Late for class.
Around the same time, fan campaigns gained traction, most notably Donald for Spider-Man, which called for community actor Donald Glover to be considered for the role. The movement grew so large that even Stan Lee acknowledged it, though it ultimately led to nothing. But it was referenced in a Donald Glover comedy show and was featured as an Easter egg in Community.
It was like, oh, we're gonna make Spider-Man black now? We're just gonna make Spider-Man black now? That's what we're gonna do? We're just gonna make Spider-Man black? That's what we're gonna do? We're gonna make Spider-Man black now?
Speculation continued throughout mid-2010 with names like Anton Yelchin, Patrick Fugit, Jesse Eisenberg, Taylor Lautner, Robert Pattinson, Zac Efron, and Joseph Gordon-Levitt thrown into the mix of rumored actors. Logan Lerman even claimed to have spoken with Sony, though Deadline later said that Logan Lerman was not even being considered for the part. On May 27th, The Hollywood Reporter released a shortlist of potential candidates for the role: Josh Hutcherson, Jamie Bell, Frank Delane, Andrew Garfield, and Alden Ehrenreich. A report in June suggested that Jamie Bell had won the role, but this was false, as in July of 2010, Sony officially announced Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man during a press event. Fan reactions were surprisingly mild. Many did not know who he was, so expectations about his performance were low. Some questioned if a 27-year-old could convincingly play a teenager, leading to a false rumor that the script was being rewritten to make Peter a university student. With the start of 2011 and the cast now complete, The Amazing Spider-Man officially began filming. However, before set photos began to hit the web, Sony would reveal this photo of Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man. Again, most people surprisingly were enthusiastic about the suit, expressing that it was a nice mix of a grounded design and Spider-Man's traditional look. However, this tune would change dramatically come the release of the set photos. Many fans, upon seeing the set pics, would begin to express their hatred for how the suit looked, but it seems that was because of the lighting. Seeing the suit in the daytime made it look much worse to many people. Not only that, it's here where we saw that the lenses were yellow, which made the suit look even worse. In the eyes of some people, Sony would release another promo image of the suit, this time with a good look of the web shooters, which fans appreciated. However, it was here where many expressed that the suit looked much better in dark lighting, leading many to express the hope that the whole film was set during the nighttime. The Amazing Spider-Man had a fairly elaborate viral marketing campaign which incentivized the fan participation. At WonderCon 2012, there was a Daily Bugle truck parked outside which handed out Spider-Man wanted posters. This event would be followed up later when a Daily Bugle video would be uploaded to YouTube. The video documented the general public's reaction to Spider-Man, specifically the youth. However, there was also an interview with George Stacy, who would ask viewers to call a specific number if they had a tip about Spider-Man's identity.
A hotline for anybody out there who has any information about this dangerous individual. Please call 877-651-8503. Let me repeat that number.
If you called the number, you'd be greeted by this.
Have you or someone seen evidence of the Spider-Man? Well, we have an assignment for you. WebbedMenace.com is a safe place where upstanding citizens like yourself can share stories, pictures, and videos documenting the spread of Spiderism. Let's show the community who Spider-Man really is. He is not a hero. He is not on our side. No one should take the law into their own hands. Go to WebbedMenace.com and let's stop him before he strikes again.
Following the instructions would lead you to the site WebbedMenace.com. Here, you could see the wanted poster handed out during WonderCon, but also the Daily Bugle interview. You could also submit a photo of Spider-Man to the site, which would be presumably showcased. Anyone who turned in a photo to the site would receive a package a few days later featuring the wanted poster and a wrestling poster as well. During the viral marketing, a series of backpacks would arrive at several locations in the US. These bags were primarily delivered to journalistic organizations and were packed full of gear you'd see a teenager have. Turns out this backpack belonged to Peter Parker, and the gear within had a series of hidden lore details, such as sketches of Spider-Man's mask and a strange cipher. Solving these ciphers is what would lead you to the site parkerspov.com, a photographic catalog presumably from Peter Parker, which featured a ton of miscellaneous photos, pages of physics and biology notes, but also sketches, photographs, and 3D models of web shooters, documenting the process Peter went through to build them. The final piece of viral marketing was the Oscorp website, where fans could solve a series of puzzles and games, and after, they would be rewarded with a video of Kurt Connors updating the viewer on their progress with the lizard formula.
Be careful what rocks you turn over. You never know what dangers might be lurking beneath the surface.
However, the site also included a series of photos and documents revealing aspects of the Amazing Spider-Man's lore, including the fact that Richard Parker was working on some top-secret Oscorp project involving the use of spiders, and teases his eventual falling out with Oscorp. The site also includes materials like a photo of Richard's family and more data regarding Kurt Connors' experiments. However, there was one strange piece of material on the site, a cryptic black screen with green data. This data would eventually become more tangible, allowing viewers to see what they said. It was a series of locations throughout the US, perhaps pointing towards objects that were meant to be collected. Upon heading to these locations, a package would be found, a strange brown bag filled with materials from Richard Parker, including a puzzle that simply led to a page featuring all the other viral marketing sites. With that, the viral marketing campaign came to an end with no real substantial reveal, but it did showcase some interesting lore details that would later become more relevant in The Amazing Spider-Man 2.